Congratulations to Dragon Age the Veilguard for s***ing more dick than Alyssa
What's going on, YouTube? It's Toxin here, and today we're talking about the Video Game Awards, but not just any Video Game Awards, the real Video Game Awards. We are reviewing the real Video Game Awards that was hosted yesterday by Stuttering Craig from the Side Scrollers podcast. And if you're not familiar with Side Scrollers or Stuttering Craig, he is the man who brought us Screw Attack. Way back in the day, we had a website called Screw Attack. Around the time or before YouTube was a thing, we used to go to websites to watch videos. And if you ever watched the original Angry Video Game Nerds, which was back in the day called the Nintendo Video Game Nerd, that is where you went to go see that show. We got Stuttering Craig and Handsome Tom. They did a lot of cool shows, a lot of cool content back on that website back in the day. And they are back again doing the real Video Game Awards, because if you've seen the Video Game Awards hosted by Jeff Keighley in the last couple of years, it's been very, very corporate. It's not really fun anymore. It's not about games. It's about big major corporations propagandizing everybody and basically telling us what to like, what to watch, what not to watch. And it's very, very unfun. It's not entertaining anymore. They took all the joy out of the Video Game Awards. It's nothing like the Video Game Awards that we used to see back in the day on Spike TV or G4 or anything like that. It is totally compromised. It's all industry insiders. It seems like nothing in the game industry is done by gamers, for gamers. It is all people pretending to be gamers to capitalize on a market that's growing at a very fast rate, especially since COVID. It really got a big boost. We got all these inside people infiltrating our space, our hobbies, and they're just sucking the life out of it. So this is a way to get real gamers who are in the industry, behind the scenes. And I'm not talking about in the industry as in the corporate journalists and stuff like that. I mean, maybe the YouTube industry, I consider YouTube an industry at this point. Real gamers, real content creators, people that really play games. So you're going to see a lot of familiar faces on the Video Game Awards. If you're on YouTube a lot, you're going to see a lot of people that you may have already subscribed to, maybe not have subscribed to, but heard of before. And you're going to hear some jokes. It is very funny. So I'm going to be reviewing this. This is the very, very first real Video Game Awards. There's going to be a lot of room for improvement. It's going to grow. So I'm going to give my review of it. So let's go ahead and just dive right into it. And let's go.
Get over here!
Screw that Hollywood bullshit. This is for the fans. Welcome to the Real Game Awards, baby.
So one thing I like about this right off the bat was the really fun little animation. Now, that person presenting the award in the beginning is supposed to be Jeff Keighley, which, to be honest, nothing personal. I just never liked Jeff Keighley. He always felt dry. He always felt like an android, a synthezoid, a robot. Doesn't really feel like a real gamer ever at any point. So that's a little dig at Keighley there. And if you notice, this show is going to be hosted by the voice of the real Duke Nukem. So I think that was pretty cool.
The voice of a disenfranchised generation. It's a Gundam.
Sometimes it feels like the industry is more interested in our wallets than our enjoyment. The nominees for the biggest cash grabs that took monetization to outrageous new levels in 2024, leaving players feeling cheated. And your nominees are The Last of Us Part 2, Remastered, Horizon Zero Dawn, Remastered, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8.
Now, this category is a bit interesting. Now, I never played Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered or Star Wars Outlaws. I did play The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, and I do have Tekken 8. The reason people are questioning Tekken 8, and because I know a lot of people were confused about Tekken 8, was that when this game launched, it was supposed to have a store front. That didn't come out right away. When it was updated, a lot of the items in the store were very expensive, so people felt like that was a cash grab. The DLC portion of it as well felt like a cash grab to many, so that's why Tekken 8 ended up on this list. Now, I believe the reason Zero Dawn and Last of Us 2 Part 2 Remastered were in this was because they came out just fairly recently. I remember when The Last of Us Part 2 came out, I bought it brand new, and then less than 5 years later, it's being remastered for PS5. It just seems kind of redundant and ridiculous to remaster a game. A lot of these games got the PS5 update patch to perform better and look better. So for them to remaster a game that pretty much came out less than 10 years ago, I don't even think some of them were 5 years ago, is kind of redundant.
And the Real Game Awards for biggest cash grab goes to Jeff Keighley for the 2024 Game Awards. Man, did he rake it in!
Can't criticize Jeff Keighley.
Ah, okay.
Well, 49% of your vote went to The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered.
I can't really argue with that one. Last of Us Part 2, like I said, that game just fairly came out recently and was already being remastered for modern consoles, which is bizarre. I don't know why we're doing that.
That Neil Druckmann, you dickbag.
Crazy Fox Lady VTuber Kirsha.
Hi! I'm Kirsha, and I've got the honor of presenting this year's Husbando of the Year award.
Bricked up. Bricked up.
Whether they were the ultimate ally, a charismatic leader, or just plain swoon-worthy, the nominees for Husbando of the Year showed us what true loyalty and charm looks like.
Eve, Tifa, Bernice, Juliet, and the Real Game Award for Waifu of the Year goes to, with 49% of your votes, Eve.
Now, this one was a little bit controversial because I actually never played Stellar Blade. Everybody knows that Tifa is the ultimate waifu. Now, what's funny about this is X-Ray Girl is awesome, but for Waifu of the Year, Waifu should have 100% been Hypnotic. He totally should have presented this. He is the waifu king. If you ever watched his live streams, he's got this really fun and interactive game at the end of all his live streams called Waifu Battle, where he takes two waifu battles. He takes two waifus and they battle it side by side, and you vote on who you want to win the waifu battle by using super checks. It is one of the coolest and smartest grifts I've ever seen on YouTube. It is extremely fun to play these games. I've super chatted so much for it because it is just really fun and interactive. It's a great way to get super chats by getting everybody involved, and it's also a good way to goon at the end of the night every live stream. So it would have been great to see Hypnotic host the Waifu of the Year. Missed opportunity, maybe next year. I think he should definitely be in this category. Eve Stellar Blade has been in the news a lot, very Goonergate, but I think Tifa should have definitely won this battle. Maybe a lot of the voters are younger. Who knows? Or maybe because Stellar Blade is newer, or maybe people are just getting tired of Tifa. Who knows? Maybe they didn't like the last Rebirth and Remake games. Can't really tell. But again, these are voted by paying fans. This is not a bot vote. So we're going to have to take it for what it is.
And in all honesty, I enjoyed playing Stellar Blade so much, so I am so glad that Eve won. Oh my gosh, I played that game even twice. So, very happy that she is the waifu of the year.
Presenting the award for Best Third-Person Shooter, lead supporter of the Real Game Awards, Alec Baldwin's Finger.
Third-person shooters combine strategic gameplay with immersive action. The nominees for Best Third-Person Shooter brought us precision, teamwork, and thrills from over-the-shoulder perspectives in 2024.
By the way, it's really cool to see Alec Baldwin's Finger hosting. This one kind of took me back a little bit, and it's really cool. If you don't know ABF, he's a great content creator. He just started live streaming, I believe, recently, started really getting into it, and he makes a lot of dad jokes. He's famous for making the cringiest dad jokes of all time. If you watch, or if you're part of the Bigot Army on Hypnotic's channel, you're going to see Alec Baldwin's Finger making tons of cringe dad jokes for $69.69. He's awesome. We love ABF. It was really cool to see him on this.
And your nominees for Best Third-Person Shooter are Warhammer 40K, Space Marine 2, Helldivers 2, The First Descendant, and Earth Defense Force 6.
Now, I gotta be honest, with this category, I haven't really played any third-person shooters this year, so the results to me are irrelevant, but we'll see what they go with.
Your winner of Best Third-Person Shooter goes to, with 52% of your vote, Warhammer 40K, Space Marine 2. The Warhammer developers said they wanted to make a fun game and deserved to win this award. For more gaming content, please check out my personal YouTube channel, Alec Baldwin's Finger.
He never, ever misses.
ABF don't miss.
Presenting the award for Best FPS is the excellence of elocution and author of Gothic Western Ghost of the Badlands, Razor Fist.
First-person shooters put us directly in the action, giving us pulse-pounding gameplay, intense firefights, and unforgettable multiplayer moments like being called the Hard R over an Xbox headset. The nominees for Best FPS set the standard for the genre in 2024, and your nominees are Call of Duty Black Ops 6, RoboCop Rogue City, Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl.
Now, I gotta be honest, I didn't play any of these games this year. I'm kind of over Call of Duty. It's just spending too much money for the same game over and over again. And it's getting way too cartoony. It's pushing the Fortnite model, and I'm just kind of getting over it. So, not really into it. But I really, really, really want to do RoboCop Rogue City, because I heard a lot of great things about that game, but I've never checked it out myself. We'll see. Maybe if it goes on Steam sale, I'll definitely check out RoboCop.
And the real game award for Best FPS goes to, for the 1000th time, oh, I'm sorry, wrong game awards. With 53% of your vote, RoboCop Rogue City. Gosh, that's a shame. And just when we were about to enter Black Ops History Month. Well, congratulations, Robo, and stay out of trouble.
And now let's take a look at the best fighting game. Your nominees are Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Tekken 8, and Under Night in Birth 2.
Now, this is a big one for me because I've played at least 2 of these games. I did not play Under Night in Birth, but I put in massive amounts of hours in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero and Tekken 8. But if you ask me personally, I would probably go with Sparking Zero. I think it's more fan service, it's more entertaining. The reason I would pick that over Tekken 8 is because Tekken 8 is very, very technical. It's a very technical fighting game, and although they did introduce gameplay styles in this game that make it easier for new players, it is very difficult to master Tekken 8. A lot of people say that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is an arena fighter, but it's still a fighter. You're still going one-on-one fighting, so it counts. Also, there's not, obviously you see there's not much competition in that category. Just these 3 games. Man, I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into Tekken, but I just can't master it the way I want to master it. I was never able to rank up past gold. I'm gonna have to go with Sparking Zero, my personal opinion.
And the real game award for best fighting game goes to, with 51% of your vote, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
And the gaming industry has committed some serious crimes this year, but tonight we are here to give you the 4 nominees for the worst bait and switch of the year for 2024. Not every game lives up to its promises, and in 2024, that happened a lot. The nominees for the worst bait and switch from a gaming company in 2024, which misled players with marketing, promised features, and just frankly didn't deliver on all the hype, are the following: Helldivers 2, Star Wars Outlaws, Concord, and finally Dragon Age: The Veilguard.
See, now we're getting into the really interesting categories, and you're not going to see these type of categories in the original Jeff Keighley Corporate Game Awards. This is the stuff that I want to see when I'm looking at awards. Now we're getting into the fun stuff, okay? So worst bait and switch, which games promised the most features and completely undelivered? Let's find out.
And the worst bait and switch for 2024, with 42% of your vote, goes to Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Congratulations to Dragon Age: The Veilguard for s***ing more dick than Alyssa Merc.
Damn! Let's play an NES game, something I've never played before. Hey, what's this? Huh? It's got my name on it? Just when I thought I've played every frustrating, ball-busting, rage-inducing game. Angry Video Game Nerd 8-Bit. Let's see what you got. And it doesn't just look like an 8-bit game, it is an 8-bit game, made for actual NES hardware. Talk about going back to the past. It's got all the usual customers: zombies, skeletons, disappearing platforms, you name it. And of course, everything wants to kill you, especially the bosses. They're big, they're bad, and they're ugly. Some of these enemies I've faced before. Yeah, coming back to haunt me. This is personal.
Middle finger.
Yeah! You know what? This is no ordinary NES game. This is my NES game. Angry Video Game Nerd 8-Bit, coming soon to the original Nintendo Entertainment System.
Now this is actually really cool. It actually looks like James Rolfe was having a really fun time doing this, but you can tell he's excited for this game. I haven't watched AVGN in a long time because it feels like the passion and the love is just not there anymore. It feels like he's just going along with it just because, you know, it's a paycheck. But watching this little clip, it looks like he's really excited for this. Now, the only thing I don't like is the label. I think they need to make the label look a little bit cool. But this is going to be a very fun game to play on your NES. There's going to be lots of Easter eggs from the show, looks like. It looks very fun and entertaining. Now, a lot of people didn't notice, but they do make modern games for NES classic consoles and other consoles. Here's an NES game that came out recently. If you've played this game, it came out, I think, last year. And it is an old school NES game on an actual cartridge. This is real. So if you've never seen that before, yeah, definitely check it out. I'm a big retro game collector. I play more retro games than I play modern games because I find with a lot of modern games, I start them and I just give up and I don't play them anymore. So this is going to be really cool. I'm very excited for this, and I'm definitely going to be getting this for the NES.
Star Wars Outlaws, Concord, Dragon Age The Veilguard, and Suicide Squad.
This is another category you're not going to see in the other Game Awards show. This is very, very interesting because 2024, we got a lot of really, really big major studio games that were massive stinkers, you know. We're not usually used to seeing games fail like this. Imagine back in the day if major games like Halo 2 or Halo 3 would come out and just completely fail. It's bizarre. These studios have gotten so out of touch with gamers, and they've been so corporate and pushing agendas and political ideology and not just making games for people who buy games. They started getting very, very political, and people are just not buying the games anymore. So who made the biggest stinker of a game this entire year? Let's find out.
Kill the Justice League. And the real Game Award for biggest industry failure goes to Concord, with a well-deserved 81% of your votes.
That's hilarious. We all know that Concord is the biggest failure of the year simply for the fact that the game lasted less than, I think it was only 3 days. It was less than a full week before the game went up live and then completely pulled down. That is the worst failure of any major game that I've ever seen. Now, Concord was supposed to be a massive game on the PlayStation. It was supposed to be a big title, huge title. They blew so much smoke up the ass of Concord, and it just went up and went right down like the Hindenburg. It was just disgusting, but hey, it is what it is.
Smash JT.
2024 saw a drastic shift in how video games and the entire video game landscape has been covered. And gamers have emphatically rejected how traditional access media has worked. In fact, why am I even wearing this? I'm a gamer. I'm not trying to be professional here. Gamers have turned to other outlets like YouTube and X to get their information in the gaming world. Because gamers have spoken and they feel like it comes from authentic voices. This year's nominees definitely reflect that and should send a major signal to the games industry about how gamers get their news. And your nominees are Savvy, John F. Trent, Kirsha, and Endymion. And the
Okay, so Endymion, dude, you got to get a better picture for your headshot because the 2008 mirror selfie is not doing it. Sorry, buddy.
Real Game Award for Best Video Game Journalist goes to, with 33% of your vote, Savvy. I want to personally congratulate Savvy for winning this award in the inaugural year of the Real Game Awards. It was very stiff competition, and every single one of these nominees honestly kind of deserved it, but Savvy stood out above the rest of them because of, I don't know, I gotta be honest and say just how incredibly autistic she is with her deep dives and finding out nuanced information that nobody else seems to get to because of her dedication and getting into those nitty-gritty details that most people in the logical world stop before they get to the resolution. So congratulations again to Savvy. You deserve this, and I am so excited for you.
Now presenting the award for Worst Video Game Journalist, founder of the third biggest Steam group in history, DEI detected, Cabrutus.
The nominees for the worst game journalist represent the most baffling takes and the most out-of-touch journalists that we have in this industry, showcasing that doesn't matter how good of a professional you are, you can still be entirely out of touch with what gamers want from this industry. And your nominees are Nick Calandra, Paul Tassi, Alyssa Mercante, and Rebecca Valentine.
This is a very, very, very fun category. There's not much to say about this category, but it is going to be fun. I mean, it's almost completely obvious who the winner of this one's going to be, but let's go ahead and play it out.
And the Real Game Award for the worst video game journalist goes to, with a whopping 76% of your vote, and to no one's surprise, Alyssa Mercante. Unfortunately, this industry is filled up with people like Alyssa Mercante, journalists that don't even like or play video games. They are just in here for the money and for the clout, because video games are now a mainstream entertainment. This is why the Real Game Awards is so important, because it gives us gamers a voice in all of this. It is time to take games back.
So yeah, that was the big thing with Alyssa Mercante. She's been getting a lot of heat for the last 7 months. About 7 months ago, she put out a video very similar to the Frost thing where she challenged people to a physical fight and she started name-calling people. She got made fun of it on YouTube. Now, what happens with YouTube is you put something out, commentary channels will cover you for about a week or so until the next trending topic comes out, and then they move on to the next one. But with Alyssa Mercante, she decided to go back and forth and just continue fighting with YouTubers. So it just kept going on forever and it never stopped. And then eventually she decided to file a lawsuit against Smash JT. Out of all of the people who were attacking her for whatever reason, she had picked Smash JT. And so that really gave him a big boost in viewership. He got a lot of support from the game industry, got a lot of funds for his GoFundMe for the lawsuit. And that was totally her fault, because whenever you get turned into a meme or a lolcow, is just not good. The best thing to do is shut up, leave it alone, and just forget about it. But she's just constantly in the news in the gaming space. She doesn't ever really talk about her experiences playing games, I guess. She does a Twitch. She just recently made a YouTube channel and got ratioed on all her videos. All her videos have more dislikes than likes. She's constantly name-calling people, using vulgar language, just not being a very good person in general. I'm not going to say much about it, but that was very obvious that she was going to win the award for worst video game journalist. She's also just recently did a video in a documentary called Gaming While Black, and for whatever reason, Alyssa Mercante, who is not black, is prominently featured in that documentary. Go figure.
Winner of tonight's Real Game Award for Best Gaming Journalist, Madam Savvy.
Thank you so much, everyone, for voting me as your top journalist for the past year. In truth, I just enjoy digging through information and making social maps to better understand the industry that we all know and love. But I, like many of you, do enjoy some of the finer details in life, especially the ones that don't have to be indulged in, but when they are, can make for such a titillating experience. Gaming isn't just about mechanics, it's also about visual storytelling and creativity, and this particular category highlights just that. These are your nominees for Best Jiggle Physics. Zenless Zone Zero, The First Descendant.
This is a Gooner category, and I love it. So I'm not going to complain about that one. I'm always bricked up, so we got to go ahead and see who wins the best Gooner game, the best Jiggle Physics of the year. Let's see.
Stellar Blade, and Lollipop Chainsaw. And the Real Game Award for the best Jiggle Physics, with 72% of your vote, goes to Stellar Blade. Art truly imitates life in 2024's hottest release, and we couldn't be more gracious to the developers for sharing their story, their vision.
Video game nerd.
Oh, great. Another award show. This one's called the Real Game Awards. I mean, come on. We're like the real Ghostbusters? Were there fake ones? I mean, that makes no fucking sense. Real clever, Craig. Anyway, they asked me to present the award for the shitty-ass game of the year. And if there's one thing I know better than good games, it's shitty games. So these ones are nominated by you, the fans. Let's get to it. So the nominees for the shitty-ass game of the year are Concord, Dragon Age The Veilguard, Dustborn, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And the winner, or I guess the loser in this case, is Dustborn. Dustborn. Yeah, more like dustbin. Playing this felt like digging through a dumpster trying to find a Twinkie that expired in 1994. Anyway, thanks for letting me present the Shitty Game Awards, the Real Game Awards, you real assholes.
And here we are, voting members, your game of the year. You suggested games of all sizes and genres, except card games. Sorry, Velatro. And your 8 nominees for Game of the Year are Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Stellar Blade, The First Descendant, Space Marine 2, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Unicorn Overlord. And the Real Game Award for Game of the Year goes to, with 31% of your votes, Black Myth Wukong.
Yes.
Now voting.
So this was the biggest category. I think was the most interesting one, because look at how Astrobot got 7%, and look at the other game awards and how that actually won. This is crazy. This is a crazy disparity. This means that people who's voting for these in the award shows, like, it just doesn't make any sense. This is why I like the Real Game Awards. I knew Zelda wasn't going to win because that game was very, very fun, but the performance on the Switch was ridiculous and embarrassing. If you've played the game on the Switch, the frame drops, the stuttering, the lag is unacceptable from Nintendo. So they got to do better with the Switch too.
Members, this has been an absolute joy bringing your voice to literally thousands of people online. It's an honor.
So there you have it. That was the Real Game Awards. I want to do my review of it very quickly. It is a very short award show. This is the very first award show. Now, Craig did say that they did not want this to be a 2-hour award show with a whole bunch of fluff and all this nonsense. I will say this. I do like that it's short. I do wish it was just a little bit longer, just a little bit. I think they should squeeze in a little bit of filler, not too much. Just a little bit, maybe some skits, a couple of skits just to make it more fun. And that's it. I think it doesn't need to be more than 1 full hour. Some people suggest an hour and 30 minutes. I think an hour and 30 minutes is good if they can make it so that it's not too much boring filler where you're skipping ahead. If you can make it entertaining for an hour and a half, I think that's going to be the sweet spot, and I like that. I think an hour and 30 minutes of good content, good awards, no filler is going to be great. One criticism is, and I don't mean the runtime, because this is the first show, so I'm not going to criticize the runtime too much. I think they should make the presentations a little bit more fun. It feels like they were flying through them a little bit quickly. Excuse me. They flew through the categories a little quick. And I think that's about it. I can't really think of anything else. I mean, this was a really, really good show. I like the categories. I think for the next show, they should do the Worst Game Studio Awards. They missed an opportunity there. There's probably a reason why they didn't do the Worst Game Studio this year. But we'll see. This is going to be a big year for gaming. I think we're going to get a lot of better games than bad games in 2025 than 2024. Anyway, this was a really good show. My favorite parts of the show was the AVGN. I feel like he was very funny. I like the trailers for the indie games. I feel like we should get more trailers. Maybe not so many 8-bit or retro style games. We did get one that was a shooter that wasn't 8-bit or pixel art. That was a very good, entertaining show. It was good to see a lot of the YouTubers. It was good to see AVGN. Good to see Alec Baldwin's Fingers, Smash JT, Kershaw, Savvy. Very, very good. I can't wait to see more guests next time. Next year, I hope to see Hypnotic do the waifu of the year. I didn't really have a problem with all the categories. I think the studio ones were the best franchise was kind of silly. I don't think we needed that one in there. Best Nintendo IP, I mean, come on. Even the Microsoft one, there was like nothing there. I really did like that Black Myth Wukong won because out of all the games I played this year, that was the best game that I played this year. I put massive amounts of hours into that game. In the beginning, I felt like quitting right away, but because I spent so much money on the game, I sat there and I grinded through it, and it was very, very rewarding. I watched a lot of YouTube videos on how to beat some of the bosses. It was really good. Anyway, I think Craig did an amazing job. This was a great award show. Satisfied with it, and I can't wait to see what they do with it next year. So, really good award show. If I had to give it a score out of maybe 1 to 10, I would give it a... Gonna be fair here. I would give it a 7 out of 10. And I don't mean an IGN 7 out of 10. I mean a solid 7 out of 10. There's going to be room for improvement. This is the very first award show that they are doing. So it's all online. My hope is that eventually they win or they make enough money from this award show and make it big enough to actually rent out a venue where people can actually buy tickets and go see the show live. That's going to take a lot of time and a lot of money. So that's not going to be within the next 3 or 4 years. That might take years. 5 or 6 or 7 years to really get to that point if it continues to grow at a consistent pace. But wow, that was really fun and entertaining. So guys, please let me know what you think. Was that a really good entertaining award show? Let me know what your favorite parts of the show was in the comments below. If you enjoyed my review, please like and share, comment down below. All your engagement helps. YouTube likes to bury my videos and I put a lot of work into them, so please help me out with a like or dislike. Doesn't matter. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.